You're watching Inside the NBA, brought to you by Kia, official automotive partner of the NBA. Visit kia.com to learn more.
Giannis or Harden, Luka or Trey? Tune into the NBA Awards presented by Kia to see who will win MVP and Rookie of the Year. Monday, June 24th, 9 o'clock Eastern on TNT. Let's hear from Steve Kerr moments ago on Steph Curry.
Steph's finger, did it look bad there? And did you maybe notice that he was having a little trouble dribbling with his left hand? Do you have any concerns moving forward with that?
It looked bad when he came off the floor. I mean, I looked at the finger and I was just hoping it was just a dislocation and not a break. And fortunately, that's what it turned out to be. As far as whether it bothered him, you can ask him that. I thought he did some great things for us and fueled us, and may not have shot the three that well, but played a great game for us.
Second row, left-hand side here.
Hey, Steve, Mark Medina, Bay Area News Group. In light of what was happening in Game 1 about the conversation with the officiating, what do you think how the guys handled all those things tonight?
I didn't even notice the officiating. I don't think anybody did, and I think that's the best compliment you can give them. They did a great job, and this game was just about basketball.
I love that.
Under Steve Kerr.
Love that.
Under Steve Kerr, when they were up 2-0, Warriors are 11-1. So wow. You were talking about you've dislocated a finger before?
Yeah. And the first time it happened, I've done it probably 5 times, but the first time it happened, you think it's the end of the world. Because
it's going the wrong way.
Yeah, then they just snatch it, and you're like, and it's just sore. I mean, but it's no big deal.
How many days afterward do you feel normal?
Probably like
48 hours?
Well, it's more like, because they got you squeezing the tennis ball. I mean, but it's just a little sore. It's no big deal.
You think he'll be playing with it wrapped like he had it tonight in the third game?
Yeah, because it just makes it more stable and keeps it in place. So, but it's no big deal, especially because it's not on his shooting hand.
Yeah. And we move on. In the words of the Bucks' Eric Bledsoe, the film don't lie. He and his Milwaukee teammates endured a video session of their 22-point home loss to the Celtics in Game 1 and came away knowing that the way they competed in the opener just isn't going to cut it in the Eastern Conference semifinals. Boston swiped the home court edge and remained the only unbeaten team in the playoffs heading into Game 2 in Milwaukee. Fiserv Forum, the site. Greek Freak, Kyrie Irving. Boston trying to stay unbeaten and take a 2-0 lead, which would put Milwaukee in a huge hole. Chris Middleton knocks down the three. They erase an early Boston 7-point lead.
These are the Bucks we saw all year right here.
Terry Rozier.
Look at that. Come on, no foul.
Yeah. And then Gordon Hayward all by his lonesome for three.
Yeah, at the early going, the Milwaukee Bucks were still in a funk, and then this started to happen.
Oh.
Yeah, and we talked about the Bucks' half-court offense, and that's something that they're going to really have to address as the series progresses.
No question.
And possibly if they ever move to the Eastern Conference Final, and they'd have to address that for sure.
You see the 2 threes by Middleton there. Milwaukee has the lead, but then Kyrie Irving, 4-3. He was just 2 out of 12 in the first half for 5 points. Al Horford for 3.
Yeah, he's playing great. He is playing great this series.
Giannis with a spin.
That's a lot of work right there. A lot of work.
They close out the first half 13-4, and Middleton had 20 in the first half, and that's too easy.
Actually, that was a perfect possession. That wall it up. Oh, Bruce Pearl.
Yeah. Where's he coach?
Auburn University.
Why was he at the game?
Y'all got Auburn playing in the NBA? That's a good question.
No, you ain't.
Of course not. Well, listen. Hey,
how about that by Jaylen Brown?
He deserves some vacation. I mean, got my school to the Final Four.
You gonna go to Milwaukee on vacation?
That's a good.
Middleton again.
Good point, Bruce.
For 3. Hey, the game was 74-71 Milwaukee, and then the Bucks go wild.
Yes.
24-2 run to end the third, and 28-2 as it bridges the fourth quarter.
He started hitting that boy. Oof. Well, I like to see him get closer to the basket.
Oh, he did that too.
But this is a guy here who really stepped up.
Yeah, that's the
tonight.
difference.
No doubt.
I mean, I told you, he's the key to me this series.
He is the key, Chuck. I believe it.
Yeah, thank you, Eric Kennedy.
Yeah, he's got to be what Klay Thompson is for Golden State.
He's got to.
And what Kevin Love used to be for Cleveland.
He's got to win
third
his matchup.
score. He's got to win that matchup.
But the main thing he got to do is force the tempo. You talk about that all the time.
First loss of the postseason for the Celtics as they fall 123 to 102. And Giannis had 29 and 10. And Brad Stevens was talking about the Greek Freak after the game.
Went downhill. That's what he does. I mean, he hits a couple of threes again. What is he, 5 for 8 or 9 on the series, I think, shooting threes. But at the end of the day, what he does is he goes downhill. We could guard him the exact same way for 7 straight games, and, you know, he's not going to go 7 for 21 very often. He's an MVP, right? So, like, ultimately, guys like that are going to score some, but we got to do a better job than everybody else.
He's at his best when he's playing aggressive, getting downhill, getting to the paint, putting pressure on the defense. And in order for us to loosen up for that, we have to be willing to take and make. It works hand in hand. We both have to be aggressive. We both have to, try to score and to help things out for him.
Kyrie, this is the first time you're in the playoffs as a lone all-star on your team, especially after a game like this. What is the extra burden there, and how do you intend to deal with it?
There's no extra burden. This is what I signed up for. This is what Boston traded for me for. So, this is what you live for. So, basketball is fun when it comes like this, when you have to respond. And this is the type of basketball you want to be playing at this time of year.
That run that the Bucks put on the Celtics, the last 7:06 of the third quarter, just one field goal for Boston. That was an Aaron Baines tip-in, and they went 24-2 on them, and then 28-2 into the fourth quarter. So, Shaq, you look at Game 3. I mean, it's going to tell us a lot when you get to Boston in a 1-1 series when the Bucks have lost by 22 and they've won by 21. I don't know what to make of this at this point.
Boston still has home court advantage, so they're still a little bit confident. They really didn't shoot the ball well, as the stat just showed. So they just have to do what they did in Game 1. We know Giannis is going to come downhill. If he's not going to draw and kick, everybody has to come, make him kick it out to the guys, and you have a chance. But Kyrie played terrible. Usually when he has a terrible game, he responds back in a positive way. So I think Boston will get this next game.
4 for 18 for Kyrie.
I'm going to disagree with Brad Stevens and everybody else, because Giannis was only 7 for 16. If you go back, he was somewhat similar in Game 1. But
slow start, 0 for 3 in the first quarter.
But I'm saying, I think they'll take 7 for 16 every game.
Sure.
But the key is how, and we knew this coming in, can Middleton and Bledsoe hold up their end of the bargain? They need 20 points from every guy. They need 30 from Giannis. But Middleton and Bledsoe, to me, they're going to be the key.
Yeah, if they can keep Freak to 7 field goals, which he had in Game 1 and in Game 2.
That's not going to get it done. But those other guys played fantastic tonight. It should be easy for them to play in that, because every time he's coming downhill, the defense is collapsing. But they got to do it. They did not do it in Game 1, Shaq. And we just to see if their game will travel.
But
plain and simple.
I believe that Malcolm Brogdon is coming back for Game 3. That was the reports. They were saying possibly. At the start of the series, they were saying that.
Yeah, we don't know for sure on that.
If he comes back, that fourth person separated the Bucks this year. They have, he does what Draymond Green does. All of those little things to keep everyone in their natural position and doesn't put all of the pressure on Bledsoe to have to perform at the highest level. Because, as great as Bledsoe has been at times, he also has been conversely on the end of the spectrum. So I think that it's going to be important for a guy like Brogdon to get back into the lineup to relieve some of that pressure for Bledsoe.
Celtics and Bucks split in Boston in the regular season. Third quarter's been huge in this series. Boston 36-21.
How was that?
Boston 36-21 in Game 1. Milwaukee 39-18 in Game 2. Yeah.
We just talked about that, Rick. We just talked about that. You ain't gonna get my cornbread. If you get him touch my cornbread, I'm gonna go on my second murder spree.
We're gonna look ahead to Wednesday's single game in Denver when we come back.